Well, my definition of reality, I guess a lot of people have said reality is basically what you make of it. It's really an individual thing. I like to think of humans sometimes as just really complex structures of just atoms, put together in such a complex manner that it can compute its own existence.
Reality is an illusion. It's only what we perceive as comfortable.
I guess reality to me is like what our senses feel, what we see, what we hear, what we feel. It's also, like an emotion.
Well, I think we think we're connected, at least. I feel connection with other people. I think we can definitely feel it with each other. Of course, is that in our imaginations, or is that our imaginations thinking? I mean, that you're feeling this, attraction or connection. At the same time, there is something about, hiking and watching a sunset. I think you do feel certain connected. Why do people do that,
Like, we had that desire to communicate. We had an intense desire to communicate with another being, so we forced ourselves. We wrenched it out of us to get that message across verbally, and somehow it evolved into a language. And there are so many different languages. I mean, even like body language. Language is intensely dead, because I can say to a girl, I love you. I love you more than anything else in the world. And that'll mean something completely different to me than it will to her. It's like I say the word love, and all this past shit comes through me, all my ex-girlfriends who I thought I loved, my ex-girlfriend who I did love, how I lost that love, how I fucked up, how I regained love, all, just everything. And they have no conception of that because they're not me. Language, physical language, it's a step in the right direction, I think, as far as existence goes, and it's sufficient for now. But if it doesn't evolve, then I don't think we'll ever come to God.
Well, there's a meteor that's passing by really close on my birthday, actually. It's January 31st, 2012.
Well, there's some myth or something that once all the flowers die, then the world will end. Or the world ends sometime after all the flowers die. And bees have this strain of AIDS that had been killing them all off, so there's a lot less bees nowadays. And without bees, there's no flowers, so.
Okay, without flowers, there's no...
I don't know what flowers really do, but someone said that if they're not there.
We've physically seen global warming getting exponentially worse. Just this morning, some cyclone in one of those South American countries or something that wiped out 7,000 people or something. And then, you got Hurricane Katrina and tsunamis and fucking record-breaking earthquakes. I mean, I suppose this all sort of happened billions and billions of years ago, but even with the amount of technology that we have, we're not prepared. Physically, what do we have? We should be at the bottom of the food chain. If we didn't have reason, we'd be done. We would have been wiped out long ago, because we can't defend ourselves. Look at us. We got no tooth and claw. We have no protection against environmental change. Look at us. I'm probably getting burnt out here right now just because of the sun and the 77-degree weather, and we're weak. It's sweating here. It's November 19th. Normally, it snowed a week ago, and I was getting shit off my car, and I was like, oh my God, it's 20 degrees out, it's so fucking cold. And here we are a week later, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that planet Earth is trying to kill us.
People will say that time is an illusion, and to some extent I believe that. The only time that we have on this earth is the time that we're alive. A human life is just that, and that's all the time you have. Like as a person, time doesn't mean anything as an individual. I mean, because what's life without restriction? That's essentially what it is. If you are a being without a physical presence, like, can you exist with other beings? Like, I feel like if you're nothing, if you don't exist physically, then there's no other.
Yeah, God's not real.
No man should be arrogant enough to declare that God does not exist.
Well, there's already, I think, a climate change. This November is like really hot for a long ass time. And I don't think it's normally like that. If like an alien came to planet Earth, they'd be like, what the fuck is this place? Let's get this shit out of here before we get shot or something.
It's ridiculous. There's so much stuff that we just have no fucking clue about. There are some people in the world who, you know, I believe are pretty selfless. Most people's conception of God, like the Judeo-Christian conception of God, is, I don't know, I feel like it's not sufficient. Everything that exists, the consciousness of everything that exists, the presence, the essence of everything that exists. Yeah, like even if it's something not living, like it's there. I mean, and it has like, I don't want to say it's got like an end goal function or purpose, you know, like a teleological worldview type of thing, but it definitely, I don't know, just the fact that it's there. Like if something exists, whether it's conscious of it or not, it has a direct effect on everything else. Love. Like, I'm beginning to think that that's the only thing that's real. You know, our physical bodies, you know, don't really mean a whole lot. This, you know, language doesn't really mean a whole lot, but there is that one thing that connects every living organism.
I think there's really no right and wrong is just what you define it as, you know. What we define as right and wrong and what Hitler defined as right and wrong are two very different things, you know. You know what I learned about Jesus just a while ago, actually, is that there is an Egyptian god, two Greek gods, and a Hindu god that that were born, and they all share these same characteristics. They were all born on December 25th, or a lot of them were born on December 25th, of a virgin, and they were a prophet when they were 12, just like Jesus, and then, or a scholar when they were 12, and then they were crucified. And a lot of them like died on 3 days and were resurrected after 3 days. A lot of them, one of them even gave wine and bread. One of the Greek gods gives wine and bread, and like, and it's really funny how, and a lot of times they celebrate, in these same times they celebrate the resurrection was at the same time Easter was, you know, and it really kind of made me think, what's really the validity of this character? But at the same time, Jesus did exist, and I don't know, sometimes I feel something. And when it comes to just real life, there's nothing that's going to be exact. There's nothing that's going to be completely absolute and predictable. Look at the war in Iraq, you know. Look at everything. The fact, like look at quantum physics. The fact that molecules, like, there's no way to predict where an electron's going to go. You know, they just go in such a random fashion. And electrons are what make up everything. You know, they're you know, an essential element to this world.
The one thing that it always comes down to is being good to your fellow man and being good to God, like trying to, you know, just be loving.
100% love, absolute love, is the idea of where we get God. And God is that absolute love. And then the absolute evil is the devil, Satan, is bad, yeah.
So as far as love goes, it's directly related to music. Love is what, ideally, like we're all striving for, and that striving is what connects all of us.